Hey everybody, welcome to the PHP. I'm Booker. That's Perez. And how you doing?
I'm good. Today, we're getting into the very latest with Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson. Kanye West is determined to break them up. Adele, has she peaked? Madonna is fuming mad. Lindsay Lohan's comeback and more. But first, how are you? How was your Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving was great. It was awesome. I felt like I got a second vacation off of my week of vacation. So I'm pretty rested and rearing to go.
You know, my mom yesterday was trying to convince me to do nothing. But of course, I ignored her because, you know, or maybe you don't know, but you probably do. Like, I just spend so much time working during the week. You know, when I have time off, like I like to do the most with my kids. So we just did so many things. We saw Encanto, the new Disney movie, which was cute. Something as simple as like, we went to IHOP and I surprised my mom by taking her there, and she hadn't been in years. And let me tell you, I got to go back to IHOP. It's a bargain.
It is. That's why people go.
I know. Six people ate at IHOP, and I gave a 30% tip, and it came out to $98.
Wow, that's awesome.
Like
every meal at IHOP from here on out.
I might have to be a regular at IHOP now. It was so good. And I took my kids to go see the LA Kings play.
Oh, nice.
And we won. And like I've said this before, but I've been to every professional sporting game possible. Nothing is as fun as hockey live. Have you ever been to a hockey game?
Of course.
Oh, okay, I don't know. It was so fun.
I'm not a huge hockey fan, but I've been to a lot of hockey games, of course.
It was so fun. Actually, here's a little bit of tea. I didn't include this in my vlog because I didn't want it to feel like I was exploiting her, but I was seated next to Amber Rose, and I've known her for like 14 years, 13 years, something like that. And you know, she's been through a lot lately. And I wanted to just catch up and be like, how you doing? Tell me everything. But she was there with her 8-year-old son. And I didn't want to have any adult conversations with her, like right next to her 8-year-old son.
Sure.
And I was with my kids too. Anyways, I'm going to wrap it up because this has gone on for far too long. But I took my kids ice skating afterwards, and we ended up in urgent care.
Oh, no.
So if anybody wants to know what happened, watch my vlog. There we go.
Oh, no.
All right, let's get right to it. But before, it was. And then my mom, of course, was mad at me. She's like, I told you shouldn't have gone ice skating. Blah, blah. I'm like, oh my God. It could have been worse, but it did require medical attention. All right, well, the celebrities all, were enjoying Thanksgiving like us, including Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson. They celebrated Thanksgiving together. That's one of the things about the Kardashians that is just like a given now. They move at warp speed. You know, a normal person might take their time introducing their new boyfriend or girlfriend to the family.
Sure.
Not the Kardashians. Pete's already one of the family. And
he's a new toy. You know what I mean? Like, he's a new celebrity that everybody knows. He's just the latest toy.
Yeah, well, hopefully they last. I don't know. They spent not just Thanksgiving together, but also Thanksgiving weekend, and they got some quality one-on-one time. I wonder how Thanksgiving worked with all her kids. Like, if Kanye was there, I don't know. Can you imagine? Oh my God, like my brain just
awkward.
Went there. What if Kanye was at the Kardashian Thanksgiving and Pete Davidson was there? I don't think Kanye would do it. He wouldn't do it.
Yeah. Why would Kanye go?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
to be with his kids on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Like, then again, why wouldn't Kanye go? You know what I'm saying? Like, it is his family.
But a lot
I don't know. Is all this like bullshit at this point? I'm starting to think that it is.
It's real. It's real. and also a lot of people celebrate 2 Thanksgivings. So maybe it makes sense that the kids did lunch with dad and dinner with mom and the rest of the family. I don't know. But Kanye, or maybe dinner with dad, Kanye also spent part of Thanksgiving volunteering, or sort of like, if there's a microphone, Kanye is going to get on the microphone. There was this charity event where they were feeding the unhoused. I don't know why, semantics, but apparently that's the new lingo. You don't say homeless, you say unhoused. I'm fine with it. Like, okay. I guess it is less dehumanizing or something. I don't understand.
Sure.
I don't understand.
The same goddamn thing. It's ridiculous.
It means the same thing, but that's what people suggest. I'm with the times.
These morons. This is what they've got to waste their time with.
Well, if you're an unhoused person, and if you say you prefer unhoused, shouldn't we listen to that community?
Yeah, I'm sure they're listening to a podcast in their shanty.
They're unhoused, but they have cell phones.
Sure.
Okay. They can listen to us on their cell. We need to be huge in the unhoused community. I am a champion for the unhoused.
Okay.
Oh my God. Actually, pause before we even continue. That, whatever you want to call it, like the ransacking of all of these stores,
the smash and grabs in Los Angeles,
it's insane.
And Home Depot and stuff. It's funny, like they hit like Home Depot to get crowbars and hammers and things in posh places and broke into them, like out at the malls and stuff. It's crazy. Like that's where we're going. We've got this whole. I mean, we were so ultra liberal. We have this whole like, well, if somebody comes in and steals stuff, if it's less than $1,000, you let them go and all this other stuff.
That's stupid. I don't agree with that.
It's completely dumb. I say you shoot people on sight, dead. That's what I say. Then all this will come to an end. This is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. We're out of control as a society. People don't come in and steal your shit from your business, okay? And if they do, shoot them. That's what I say. Come on. This is out of control.
Who's going to be the one shooting them? Because then they could be shot back. That's the problem.
Tase them then. Tasers, fine. Let's tase everyone.
They might get shot
do
back.
something.
I don't know. It's scary.
It's true, but I still think people should be able to defend their store.
Nobody that but the people that are working at the,
I agree with you. Yeah,
at the Grove,
but when you hire security, it's like you go to
hired security is not going to want to risk their life.
Well, that's what they do. And
Louis Vuitton.
when you go to Louis Vuitton, if you go to Louis Vuitton in Cancun, and there's a armed guard with a machine gun standing up front, not a machine gun, a rifle, and he's, they're protecting the store. You look at it and you're like, I would think twice about knocking that place off because this is a guy with an itchy finger. We'll get there. Don't worry. We're going to get there. This country's going to get there. We're on our way. We're falling apart.
I'm not afraid to speak my mind. I literally texted this yesterday to my friends because there's some new COVID variant that people are freaking out over. And I'm like, no more lockdowns. No,
just because you don't want it, Sir Perez, because you've been inconvenienced. You sound such like an asshole when you say that. Okay.
I don't care.
I've been inconvenienced too much by this. If this variant is bad as they say it does, and it doesn't respond, I call it the Omarosa variant because it's just funnier. But if it doesn't respond, we will be in lockdown again and we will sit in our houses again. And hopefully we'll do it right this time. And it'll only be a couple of weeks, but it's getting crazy again. I know. Me, just like everybody else.
Yeah. I don't care. I own it. I'm over it. And I'm going to vote. I think I'm going to vote for, if there are some smart or sensible Republicans in California, I will be voting Republicans because we need a shift in this state. We need to go the other way, I think.
Well, I think the state's a mess. I agree with you there, but
anyway,
I don't think there's any politician that's going to change it, to be honest with you.
I think it's all bullshit. It's, first of all, like, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but they discovered this variant last week. How the fuck do you know already it's resistant to the vaccine? I'm
Well, they
calling
don't.
bullshit.
They
I'm
don't.
calling bullshit.
Well, first of all, they don't. So let's just
Okay.
stop you before
Well,
you
you
start
said
spreading.
that.
No,
You
I
said
said
it.
they don't know is what I said. Okay. They said they don't know if this strain is resistant to the
And
vaccines
then
that we
I've
have because
read,
they haven't done enough research
and
yet.
then I've read other places that it's just mild. It's highly contagious, but mild symptoms. So whatever.
Let's hope for that. Let's hope
All
for
right.
that.
Let's keep it moving because I don't want to get upset over fucking COVID anymore. Anyways,
Buckle in for another 2 years, folks.
no, stop it.
It's what's happening. I'm already telling you. It's what's
No.
happening. It's not coming to an end. It's not coming to an end. We've got years of this left. I didn't create it. So
then everybody's going to move to Florida where they just don't give a shit.
people are going to get sick again.
Then everybody will people in Florida are like, all right, I'm willing to take that risk.
A lot of people died in Florida. A lot of people died in Florida.
But people in Florida feel like I'm willing to take that risk, whatever.
Yeah, and maybe most people are that way.
Yeah.
But I'm not.
All right. Let's keep it moving. Back to Kanye. He was speaking at this Thanksgiving thing, and he had the following to say. He said, quote, "This Thanksgiving, I'm thankful for the family that my wife has given me." Pause. He's still referring to her as his wife.
She is his wife.
Even though his wife has a new boyfriend.
Okay. Still his wife.
All right. I'm thankful for the family.
Working things out, according to him.
She's got a new boyfriend. How hard is she working on working things out?
Well, doesn't sound like she is. The tide's going to turn against her soon because he's going to keep going full press. And I want my family. I want my family. People will sort of gravitate to that.
Listen, we all know he's the one responsible for his family falling apart. Kim Kardashian was like a saint. She put up with so much. Okay.
I mean, according to you,
according to everybody.
Yeah.
She
because
put up
being
with
with
so
her
much.
must be really easy.
She's a great,
no one's not saying she's not a great person. I'm just not going to pin all of the blame on a person in a relationship I know nothing about except for that he ran for president. I know he's done some wild things,
or not even that, but like wanting her to uproot the kids and move to Chicago, then move to Wyoming, then move here, then do this.
All according to like the press, is that real?
No, that's according to her. She said that.
Okay, there's two sides to every story. It's called a marriage, Perez. It's give and take.
Yeah, and
you have arguments, you have disagreements.
He's the one who's taking.
Shocking. You're single.
No, I'm great in a relationship. I love to give.
How would anyone know? The longest relationship you've had is with me for 6 years on this podcast. I don't know you of any relationship the entire time I've done this with you.
Well, I just look at my relationship with my kids and my mom. Like I'm a giver. I'm not a taker.
It's not the same.
Even when I'm in relationships, I'm the giver. I'm the nurturer. I'm the kid.
As long as you're right.
Well, I'm
right. See?
Right.
Just continue. You're being ridiculous.
Anyways, he said, "I'm thankful for the family that my wife has given me. I'm thankful for the life God has given me. And I'm thankful for your time, attention, and patience. In Jesus' name, amen. All I think about every day is how I get my family back together and how I heal the pain that I've caused. I take accountability for my actions. Good Lord, my wife did not like me wearing the red hat. Being a good wife, she just wanted to protect me and our family. I made me and our family a target by not aligning with Hollywood's political stance, and that was hard for our marriage. Then I ran for president without proper preparation and no allies on either side. I embarrassed my wife in the way that I presented information about our family during the one, and thank God, only press conference. All my dad had to say afterwards was, write your speech next time, son. Whatever. He wrote more. or he said more. But my question is this now also disrespectful to his wife? Because his wife is an adult and she made the decision to embark on a new relationship. Is all of this public proclamation disrespectful to his wife?
Perez, it is called marriage for better or worse. They agreed.
They're not going to stay
It's a
married.
marriage.
They're getting
you
divorced.
work it out. So
She
what?
doesn't-
Work it out.
She doesn't want to work it out.
Listen, this is the problem. Okay, then she's the problem.
No,
she's the
not.
problem. There you go.
No,
she's the problem. When you sign up for marriage, especially with Kanye West.
Well, when you sign up,
West.
I'm going to shut it down right now.
When you sign up,
you
know what you're getting is going to be my point.
Yeah, exactly. You're right.
You know what you're getting. So for better or worse.
Right. No. You're so right. You know what you're getting. ... with Kim Kardashian, who's been married 3 or 4 times. So you know what you're getting, Kanye.
Someone
West.
that takes marriage with absolutely no, it's just a word. It doesn't mean anything. You say these words to one another. They're hollow. They're fake. That's
3
society.
times.
That's
3 times. Not 4 times.
Really?
Yeah.
Has it been that many times?
Yeah. Kanye was number 3. Then Chris Humphries, number 2. Then this guy, I think named Damon or whatever. Nobody remembers him, but that was her first husband. Yes.
Huh.
So You're right. You know what you sign up for. And when you marry Kim Kardashian, you know it's not going to be forever if she doesn't feel like it.
Okay, that is fair too. But you still both signed up for it. And if he wants to work it out, you should try to work it out.
Well, I think it's disrespectful because she clearly
is disrespectful. These people are disrespectful to society. They don't give a shit about anybody or anything. They care about themselves.
She tried to work it out for a very long time and then just got to a point where she could not make it work anymore. So good on them. All right. In more Kardashian Jenner news before we move on, Kim and her sister Kourtney both have joined TikTok, and they did it in an unusual way as joint accounts with their daughters. So Kim and her daughter North have a joint TikTok account, and Kourtney and her daughter Penelope have a joint TikTok account, and good on them. Whatever makes them happy. Although it's just like silly. It's basically 9-year-old TikTok. Okay. They're just making like super silly dance videos and crap like that.
Yeah. It sounds like the kids wanted to join TikTok and they said, this is how we'll do it.
All right. Well,
it's almost responsible.
I'm not letting you're not. Well, yeah, they also had to do it that way because I think you have to be 12 or 13 to join TikTok and they're too young.
Really?
Yeah. There's a minimum age.
Huh.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I don't know. I guess I didn't think of that.
In more relationship news, congratulations to Lindsay Lohan. She is engaged.
You know what's wild? Like last week, I think on the show, you were talking about Perez Hilton's wedding and you said, I better be invited to Lindsay Lohan's. And I'm thinking, I wonder if she gets engaged soon. And boom, like a week later. So it's like your timing's right on with that one.
I bet you she'll get engaged in Dubai and she'll have it all sponsored or paid for by
married in Dubai. Yeah.
Oh, right. Get married in Dubai. Yeah. Oh my God. By the way, I had such
By the way,
last week I had such a brain fart and you didn't catch it either.
You know, I did catch it and I was thinking, I know what you're thinking about the Oprah, Ellen DeGeneres thing.
Yeah.
And when you said
Oprah instead of Ellen.
I literally was like, Oprah does that bit too. I was like, that's really unoriginal of Oprah. But I was like, you were moving on and I just never got back to it.
Yeah, I watched it. Like I literally watched the interview and the IFB in-ear thing. And I said Oprah when I meant Ellen.
Yeah.
You know,
I knew it. Everybody. Yeah. I think everybody knew what you meant. Even I knew what you meant. It was like one of those, I thought it was odd that Oprah did that too. But you were talking about all of the interviews she's done with Oprah. So I just assumed this the
you know, I may see
is. So,
Yeah. I may seem perfect, but I make
you
mistakes
don't.
as well.
You don't at all.
Thanks. Anyways, congratulations to Lindsay Lohan. I'm so happy for her. You know, look at us all. Lindsay's engaged. Paris got married. Britney is free. And thankfully, I mean, maybe it's just because I haven't been paying attention, but Britney's had a bit of a quiet week. A quiet week for Britney is a good week, I would say.
Yeah.
So happy for her. Adele's new album, as expected, debuted very well, but I sort of was expecting it to do even better. She debuted on the in the US with about 838,000 units, which, you know, I thought she would do maybe like 1 million or more, but still, that's still big. But like, they made this, I don't know if you were paying attention, they made this huge to-do about the amount of vinyls that they pressed for the Adele album. Like, in fact, indie artists were like complaining on Twitter and indie labels
because they were hogging all the vinyl.
Because they could
There's only a
not
finite amount of it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's only so many factories that make vinyl, and they could not get their vinyls minted because they were all making the Adele vinyls. And Taylor Swift ended up selling more of her Red the first week than Adele did of her new album. So that just leads me to ask, has Adele peaked?
I think they're both in the same juggernaut category. Like, one has to be,
I mean, maybe,
one has to come in first. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't
yeah.
mean anything. It means nothing. She could go on an arena tour and sell it every night for 100 nights at the same damn venue in Kentucky. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they're both enormous juggernauts.
Maybe she's peaked commercially, but not artistically, because I do love the album so much.
I don't think it's the word peak. I think it's just, back to our previous conversation, I just think that Hello and Someone Like You were just monsters. And this song is, I won't say not a hit, because who knows what a hit is right now, but it's not a monster. I mean, those songs were undeniable, earth-shattering monsters. This hasn't captured the it's not in the zeitgeist. It's just not there to me. But, you know, like I said, who knows everything's so weird right now.
I think one of the problems also is Adele is an artist. And some musicians, and she prefers mainly just being an artist.
Yeah.
Whereas some musicians, like Taylor Swift, have a deep desire for being an artist and a business person.
And a product, being a product, and all of the things. And could Adele step on the gas and up her merch and, you know, sign things on her own like Taylor does? And it's no slight against Taylor. I think it's cool for the fans. If you're a fan and you want this shit and she's giving it to you, fucking awesome. You know what I mean? But it means more. It seemingly means more to Taylor than it does Adele. I don't know if that makes her less or more of an artist. It just is the way she wants to do things. You know what I mean?
Taylor also evolves with the times more and is just like, she's just the smartest human being, like such a great businesswoman. And Adele kind of is like resistant to change.
Well, I wouldn't even go that far. I think that Taylor just knows her fan base and she knows what she can get out of them.
I would go far, because Adele has expressed that in so many words. She gave a new interview to the CBC. She was talking about Drake. And this is what Adele had to say about Drake and their friendship. She said, having access to someone else that knows exactly what it's like to be in a certain position sometimes if I try and talk to one of my other friends about it, they'll have no idea what I'm talking about. They're like, can't relate. So they just switch off. I can say something to Drake and he won't judge me for it, you know? So to have access to someone that's in the same position, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, the good part is she says, we're a dying breed. There was like 10 of us, you know? I don't think there'll ever be that many of us again at the top doing it the way we were doing it. We came out before streaming. We came out before all the social media frenzies of like, you've got 5 seconds to entertain, otherwise get out. We existed in the old schoolness of the industry that we grew up watching and aspiring to be a part of.
Yeah. Yeah.
She doesn't like all the changes.
Well, nobody does. Who likes change in life? I mean, nobody does. You want everything like the way it used to be. And that's just code for you want to be younger because everything's better when you're younger. And yes, the business has changed and everything, while getting bigger, has gotten smaller. And it's almost back to talking about her song. It used to, you just get music one way or two ways, you know, from a video or from a radio station. And it was more special. Now you've got this gigantic ocean of music out there and it's hard to pluck like what's good, what's not good. And everybody's doing their own thing now. I don't think it's better. I think it was better when you had really great curators, programmers that had that knack, that had that thing that said, that's a hit, or great A&R people that knew. So it's just a different day, but it is what it is. And then you look at the world where we are now, everything's so muddied. It just doesn't make sense.
I mean, I still think a lot of great music is being made. So
it certainly is. The question is, do we hear it? Does it make it to us? You know?
I hear it. I seek it out.
Yeah.
Actually, I was in a big hole over the weekend, literally listening to Hole. Man, those two albums from the 90s,
they're so good.
Both of them, you know, Live Through This and Celebrity Skin. And then I was watching some live I was watching live performances and in such a Courtney Love. And then I just sent Courtney Love a DM. I don't even know if she checks her DMs anymore. I just wanted to say, hey, out of the blue, just sending you love and you're timeless. That's it. Just something like that. Because, you know, I love her. Speaking of timeless, Madonna is timeless. And a little bit like Adele, that she's not liking change or that she doesn't exactly...
I don't think she acknowledges change.
Yeah.
I think she's still just sort of operating like she's Vogue, and I don't think she sees
in her mind she's still that popular.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, and realistically, she is. We all know who she is. I mean, once you hit a level,
she's not that popular,
right? I mean, as we get older, young people didn't
have the history.
Right. You don't understand the greatness of, you know, like her breaking out with Borderline and what those songs meant to people.
Yeah. You know, plus, you know, back then, not only was she popular, but she had a lot more power than she does now. And she does not like it when she doesn't have power. So Madonna posted over the Thanksgiving break some very racy photos on Instagram. Did you see those?
I read after the fact that she was mad that they were deleted. Yeah. I saw pictures of her family. I did see that.
Well, that as well. But then she did like a whole photo shoot with Stephen Klein and people were making memes of it, like Wicked Witch memes. Cause there was one where she was like underneath a bed with her ass hanging out. And I'm like, I don't understand what you're trying to communicate, but whatever. And I know Madonna's my number one of all time. Anyways, in a lot of the photos, her nipple was visible, and Instagram is a stickler for
the nipple police.
Unless you're breastfeeding. And it is weird because guys can show nipple, but women can't. Like, why? That doesn't really make sense. Like,
I'm with you. Free the nipple.
I'm all for it. But she was real upset. Madonna said, I'm reposting photographs Instagram took down without warning or notification. The reason they gave my management that does not handle my account was that a small portion of my nipple was exposed. It is still astounding to me that we live in a culture that allows every inch of a woman's body to be shown except a nipple. Blah, 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 blah. She went on and she was not very happy. Let us send some positive vibes to Wendy Williams. There are some conflicting reports about the state of Wendy Williams' health. Some people claim that she is wheelchair bound, and some reports claim that she might even be suffering from dementia. That's pretty hardcore. Her brother spoke to the media, and I don't know if he made things better, to be honest, because he did not, he said something along the lines of, my sister doesn't have, let me see if I can, here we go. He said, there are no concerns about her mental state. It's all physical. But he didn't explain what the physical things are. So he didn't deny that she's in a wheelchair now, or she's gone through a lot over the last few years, her whole life. She's gone through a lot, and she's still not back on her show. So
who's on the show now?
She's got a series of like rotating fill-in guests.
And you haven't done that yet? You got to get on that.
I think I'm too much of a threat because I would do it so well.
I'm sure that's what they're thinking.
Yes. Hey, I would do it.
Of a threat. Just
I would do it.
Put your name out there for them.
I have put my name out there. They haven't bit. I would bring
putting it out there. If they're doing rotating who's the fucking guest host? That's what I want to know.
This week it's Leah Remini and Michelle Visage.
Okay, I know both of them.
And they already did it, and they did it.
I mean, you're not as okay. I mean, sorry, but you're bigger than. I happen to think Leah's very good at hosting things, but Michelle Visage, you're a bigger name and not that she's not talented. I love Michelle, but you're a much bigger name than her.
Call me. I'll bring you as my co-host. That's what they did.
I'll just mock you from that. I'll just sit up in the things.
No.
All I need is a microphone that I can say things every now and again and just mock you from the seats. It would be fun.
Leah Remini was the one that was chosen to be the host. And she said, I'm not doing it without my friend Michelle.
Oh, wow.
So I think they're trying to get their own talk show together.
Gotcha.
They're very specific, the two of them, with their appeal. Like, I don't know if the Wendy audience.
Right. We're probably more of the Wendy audience because you and I are opinionated, and we would.
Well, they're opinionated too, but
I got a feeling that they would be more.
They're more like
celebrity
a Bravo
protective
audience.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I feel like they're more like the gays or VH1. Like they're the gays and the straight gals. Like, I don't know if the Wendy audience is, but I love them both, and I wish them well.
Yeah. I mean, we're kind of different than the Wendy audience, but we are equally as bitchy. I mean,
no, you are.
This is what people. No, you trust me. You're a bitch too. I think people would kind of connect with that. Picking sides.
Well,
I agree with him. I think that people would connect with that.
Debmar, hit me up. We're available. All right. And finally, I ended up watching the entire season of Dancing with the Stars this year. It ended last week after we recorded our podcast.
It did? I didn't even know. It's over?
Yeah. And JoJo Siwa did not win.
Huh.
The audacity. Here's the way, like, I don't even know exactly how they determine the winner because I don't watch the show. I just watched the performances on YouTube, but I watched all the performances.
Yeah.
So I did look, and I saw that JoJo and then the guy that won, Iman Shumpert, tied with the judges' scores that night. You would hope if they have a tie that they could do like a tie break, or that there was like some other way, but I think the audience vote then is what determines the winner. And the audience voted for Iman and not JoJo.
I got
But
a question.
JoJo had outscored him consistently the entire season.
Who's Amon? Who is this?
He's some athlete. You know, they have athletes
Oh.
on the show.
Football? Basketball?
I think he's a basketball player.
Basketball.
Wait, let me make sure.
I don't want. I can't be baseball. I would know.
Yeah, but he's a basketball player, Iman
Okay.
Shumpert. I think he's also married to or has a child with Tiana Taylor. Oh, here we go. He plays with the Brooklyn Nets. Maybe that's why you don't know him. He's an East Coaster.
It's too much basketball.
I'm gonna be on Dancing with the Stars or Strictly Come Dancing in the UK. I am manifesting that. It has to happen.
I just can't believe you haven't been on yet.
They don't want me. I've tried. It's hard being Perez Hilton, let me tell you. All right, let's take some calls.
Oh, wow. We're done. That's it. I thought there was more coming up. My God.
It was
sorry about that. I wasn't prepared for you to go right into calls there. My apologies. You said one more thing, and I was like, one more thing about this. I didn't realize the show was done. Okay, hold on.
Well, it's Thanksgiving. It was
people got to catch up.
It was a shortened week.
Here we go.
Hey,
we could take a lot of calls. Okay. As many calls as you want.
Here we go.
Make the call spicy.
Hey, Perez, this is Katie. I'm calling because I just know that you are going to talk about Kanye posting everywhere about how he is trying to get Kim back and he wants to put his family back together. And I just have to say, when in the history of ever has that worked for anyone? Did it work for Robin Thicke? Nope. Is it going to work for Kanye? Nope. Like, what is he doing? What is he thinking? Oh my gosh. Well, Godspeed to him. I think he just cannot handle the fact that Pete Davidson has what he cannot have. So, love the show. Love calling in. All right. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
You know, and one more thing to that. I'm sorry to cut you off. One more thing to that. The difference this time around with Kim and every other relationship, there is one difference. And they had kids, and they had many kids.
Well, wait, no. She literally brought up Robin Thicke, and he had kids, or at least one child as well.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying that he shouldn't have worked it out either. And I don't know if both parties wanted to work it out, but in this situation, it sounds like Kanye wants to work it out. And it's not like every other past relationship because there are many kids involved with this one. And it's a little, listen, if you're going to be Kim Kardashian, you're going to marry everybody, in an area code, cool, fine. But when you introduce some kids into it, that's when it gets a little I think marriage should be taken a little bit more seriously once the kids have been introduced.
Let me try to understand this, because why is marriage such a big deal? Because there are, in this day and age, there are just as many people having children with people without getting married.
Yeah.
Isn't having children an even bigger bond or something more meaningful than getting married?
Well, I just think I'm just saying, harkening back to olden times, like we were just talking about, it used to mean more. Family used to mean more. That commitment used to mean more. And it's like I said, if you want to gallivant and just take it all flippantly and say, okay, it doesn't mean a lot, fine. Until you have kids, then it starts to get a little dicey. Then you have to say, all right, I brought some kids into the world here. Am I gonna really honor my word? Because your word's to your kids too. It's to your family, all of you together. So I don't know what's going on with those two. Maybe it's warranted. Maybe she should be done, and maybe they should be. I'm just trying to interject that perspective.
And people change. I mean, maybe at the beginning of their courtship and relationship, Kanye was one way, and then, he's not that way anymore.
Hi, President Booker. My name is Isaiah. I'm calling from Denver. I thought I would comment on the Britney Christina situation, since it seems like you guys don't have a lot of dude callers. I just wanted to say that Christina's historically been pretty terrible to Britney in the press. She's called her white trash. She said that she's needed gimmicks to sell records. She went on tour with Justin Timberlake directly after his breakup with Britney. She's literally been giving Britney pot shots for 20 years. So back in June, after Britney spoke up in court and Christina or her team, we really don't know who posted it, posted those tweets, quote unquote, standing up for Britney, it kind of seemingly felt like she did that solely because it was the popular thing to do in the moment. Now, flash forward, Britney is actually free, and Christina has nothing to say. To me, it feels like she may be staying silent because she feels threatened by the fact that Britney is now going to be in control of her career again. Or not Britney, Christina rather has always had this level of jealousy for Britney because she feels that she is more talented than Britney, but hasn't seen half the success that Britney has. So I think that she's probably scared that Britney's going to come out and overshadow her career once again, just like she did tonight. And Britney hasn't released an album. She hasn't released anything. You know, she's literally, all she's released is Instagram posts. And she's still overshadowing Christina on, quote unquote, her night, the Latin Grammys, which seems like another foray for her to try to gain relevance. She could have made a lot
This guy's just going on forever here. I do like his voice, though. Do you think he's like black? He sounds like sexy, black, and thin and tall.
He sounds a little delusional as well. I say
he's
that
perfect for you.
I say that with love. I mean, Christina is an icon, and like this rivalry is so stupid because it's non-existent. I don't think, you know, it's like if they both, and they have had both residencies in Vegas, if there are residencies in Vegas, people will go see them both, you know. Yeah. It's like,
okay, but they come from a different time where people do pit artists against one another, and they did. And, you know, like at the VMAs, everyone forgets they both kissed Madonna. But you only hear about Britney kissing Madonna.
That's because the camera panned to get the reaction from Justin Timberlake. So you didn't see the Christina one.
Yeah, maybe.
That wasn't on camera.
It wasn't?
No.
Yeah, sure it was. You got to Google that at some point. I think it was.
I know. I guarantee the camera did not see it.
Huh.
They panned to get Justin's reaction at the moment that Christina kissed Madonna.
Oh, man. I don't know. It seems very catty to me, but look, like I said last week, Christina's bitchy. Okay. I mean, I kind of think everybody sort of knows that, you know what I mean? I don't, you know, digging deep into the theory that she thinks she's going to be bigger than her, back to Perez's point. They're just both icons at this point, and they're both, unfortunately, yesterday's news when it comes to making music. It's younger now. It's Olivia Rodrigo. It's still Taylor. It's
Doja Cat.
It's Doja Cat. Exactly. You know, so
Doja Cat is
huge.
Yeah. Olivia Rodrigo, huge era, but it's only one era. Yeah. Doja Cat has already had more than one era, so she's around for a while. Actually, I was just talking about this with a friend yesterday. I'm like, Lizzo's done. Sadly,
I had said on this show at one point she could just be a one hit, and you kind of scoffed at me, and I was like, it wouldn't shock me. I mean, where's, you know, I love her, but I'm about to say it. Where's Lord? You know, where's Lord? I like the song that she did and put out, and I still like her music, but
I love her second album, but it just didn't do very well.
Yeah, but you would think that these masters of that moment, they could keep that ball going. It's hard. It's not easy. You know, that's where you have to look at a career like Taylor's or Adele's that has spanned, you know, a decade plus at times, and, you know, all of the successes. It's really impressive. Really impressive. It's very hard. It's hard to have one hit. Think about all of the artists that just have one.
Yeah. Well, you know, like I've said before, it's better to be a one-hit wonder than a no-hit wonder.
You're right. One hit, you can make money forever.
So this question is for Booker. I know you used to watch Vanderpump Rules, and I was wondering if you've seen any of the new season. And I personally think that this is going to be the farewell season because it's just lost all of its spice, and it's just like really boring with the new people. So I was just wondering if you've seen it and if you think it has a chance to even carry on with, you know, all the main people being gone. All right, love you guys. Bye.
Yeah, you're 1,000% right. I think I've said that before. It's the main cast with any of these reality shows. The secret sauce to reality shows and young people is that doe-eyed innocence, and then them performing within that, their wackiness comes out. After a season, sometimes two, you start to see the camera, even though you don't see the cameras, if that makes any sense. They're acting up. They've achieved fame. That specialness about them has been exposed, and now it's gone. And now you're trying to go into another generation of it. It's just, it doesn't work that way. It worked
Well,
because
sometimes it does. Like, I don't know what the magic is, but for some reason, like here's a perfect example.
Real Housewives.
Well, no, like on MTV, The Hills came and went and then came back again, but the new Hills, nobody cares. Jersey Shore came and went, but the Jersey Shore revival has been a big hit for MTV.
Yeah, but not to the extent of what it was before, where
Snooki
became a household name. I mean, everyone in the world was talking about that. Now, I'm not saying that like Vanderpump is not a completely irrelevant show. But if you compare it to when it started, it is. It's a shell of what it used to be. It's like it's executives going back to the well and doing the same thing over and over again and just sucking every last ounce of cheap programming out of it. And that's all it is. And I get them doing it. And you know, people form a bond with some of these people like you. They grow up with you and you're just part of their life, you know, and that's fine. There's, you know, and some people are going to fall off. Some people may come back down the line, you know, like I said, once you're famous, you're famous. So, but I agree.
But you're not always making money like you were.
Well, that's true. And, but at least you're making some. And I think there's a lot of people that get the taste and they get the first check and then they blow it. I would say most people get the first check and then they blow it. They go buy a record label or something like you idiot.
I know. I'm wasting so much money.
Because you think it's going to come in forever. But, you know, with that money and invested properly, you know, you can have a nice living, but nobody thinks that way. They go get tattoos on their face. So it's a different world that we're seeing here. But yeah, I can't watch that. That's not going to be for me. Sorry. Going to have to pass on the new Vanderpump. You like them because, you know, James Kennedy was wild. I mean, and the guys were all meatheads and the girls were really working in a bar and they were that girl that moved to LA to become famous and they did, you know, and you got to see it and it was fun and you could dream along with them, but it's over now. Like, no, thank you. And hopefully, and I think they probably all saved their money. I hope they did. I got to think that they all got a couple of bucks still.
And they are like, you know, selling stuff on Instagram and all of that.
Right. I'm sure that pays them hundreds of dollars a year.
Hey, Booker and Perez. This is Tom from Indian Lake, Pennsylvania calling. I just want to express my opinion about the new Adele album. I think it fucking sucks. It's not entertaining at all. I listened to it once and thought maybe it was a mistake, so I listened to it a second time. Personally, I find it boring. I find it weird. I want some fun, happy music, something that entertains, not something about somebody's fucking personal life. Who gives a shit about that? Thanks. Love the podcast. Take care. Hope you had a nice Thanksgiving.
This person must not be an Adele fan because that's what she does.
I mean, you did start the show asking the question, has it peaked? And
yeah, maybe we got our answer.
Yeah, I don't know if in 21 days we would have gotten anyone that made this call, unless they were just trying to be an asshole and shocking. I just don't think it's caught. I don't think this first single has caught the imagination of the masses. And, you know, I still like it. Don't get me wrong, but that was, I guess, the point I was making. But All right. Let's wrap it up.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you. If you want to call and ask us anything, 800-721-1185. And make sure you share our podcast with your friends, families, coworkers, classmates, your fellow unhoused. We appreciate you.
Can we get a call from an unhoused person?
It's not funny. I'm not making fun of them. Okay?
I am, for the record.
Oh, God.
Take care, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.
Have a good one. Bye.